You know what's funny? When we talk about the best character of One Piece, a lot of people kind of just pause for a second and try to think, wait a minute, who is the best character in One Piece? And obviously, the title of this video is I believe Garp is undoubtedly the best character in One Piece. But when you think about that question, you kind of have to run around and think, okay, well, you have Luffy, a lot of people like Doflamingo, Jinbei is starting to come up in the ranks after recent chapters, Ace is another very, very good candidate as well, and we'll probably do an Ace video talking about his decision as well. But what I really want to focus on is Garp, and I think a lot of people understand, but I've started to see some rumblings where people are very disappointed with Garp, mainly because of the decision with Ace and letting him die. A lot of people use that as basically just a stick to beat Garp with. And I'm confused because I feel like we're not understanding context. And if you've been following this channel for some time now, you'll understand that I believe context matters because Oda uses context in very specific ways to send a very specific message. So what we're going to do today is I'm going to break down Garp as a character and you guys understand everything that he's done, his decision making, and why he is the best character in One Piece, because I believe there is no character that is more complex than Monkey D. Garp. And let's start off with morality. So I did a collab with BDA Law, aka Brago, you guys know who he is, and we talked about morality, we talked about racism within the One Piece world, we talked about all kinds of different things that involve society in One Piece. And I think Oda's usage of Garp and the way he's written Garp he's like one of the poster children for that. So think about it this way: we have a world where the celestial dragons rule. They are inherently evil, I would argue, to be honest with you. Having slaves, doing all kinds of horrible things, putting bomb collars on people if they try to run away, just restricting people's freedom based on their own preconceived notion that they're gods of this world based on 800 years of history. These are the people that rule the world. These are the people that rule the world government. These are the people that control the Marines. That's a problem. And Garp works for these people. So there's already a moral conflict here. So when it comes to morality in regards to the Marines and the world government, there's just a contradiction. There's a contradiction there. So that's complex in itself. And then we have the pirate world, where there are pirates that have ideals of freedom and they help their friends and they do whatever they want. They live in a world of chaos, a lack of order. There's good pirates where you see someone like Luffy, you see someone like Whitebeard, for example. Whitebeard's not the best, but you would say he's more on the better side of things. And then you have pirates like Doflamingo, Crocodile, Blackbeard, Big Mom. Again, Big Mom thinks what she's doing is fine, but there's always a blurred line. The morality in One Piece is gray, and this is very important for Garp here. I promise you, I'm setting it up so you guys can understand the overarching point. And then we also have fisherman racism. We have the ordeals that Jinbei went through. We have Arlong, Fisher Tiger. As you guys have been following this channel, we see we've been covering all of these topics because Garp is tied into everything that happens in this world. And then you have the notion in general with the Marines: freedom versus justice. Now that is very important because I would say with Garp is a very unique character. He has the qualities of Luffy. Well, Luffy got them from Garp, but the reasons we love Luffy are the same reasons that we love Garp. Garp is very honest to a fault, very straightforward, doesn't really BS around. It's just, whatever I believe in, I'm doing it, that's it. But with Garp, there's a twist to it because Garp is not a pirate. He's not a renegade like Dragon. He's not a bandit like Luffy. He's a Marine, so he's within a specific structure based on alleged morality that is deemed to be correct. You could say subjective morality, you could say objective morality, but Garp is stuck in this specific box, so he has to follow a code of ethics and a code of rules, and then he navigates those code of ethics and those rules with his own ideals and his own philosophy. Now let me explain. So his epithet is the hero. Garp is the hero. And I think when we see hero, we think, oh, Superman. Oh, you look at My Hero Academia, All Might. Like, you just think, okay, you think it is something that's very simple. Oh, he's just a hero. He did something great at God Valley. But I think we're underestimating what that actually entails. So Garp having to deal with the nonsense of the Celestial Dragons, but also having to save these same celestial dragons in God Valley from a greater evil. Not to mention, he teamed up with Roger on top of that. If you've noticed, the Roger team up wasn't mentioned in the articles. Sengoku specifically said, but there was a pirate that helped him out that no one really knows about. Why would they do that? Because of perception. Garp was given the credit for God Valley, and that's where he got his epithet, the hero. So what does the hero entail for the Marines? If you look at Marineford, when Garp was introduced, when Garp knocked Marco aside, do you see the reverence that everyone had? Did you see the glory and the joy that the Marines had for Garp? The hero's here. Oh, it's Garp the hero. The pirates are like, oh my God, it's Garp the hero. Now, don't underestimate that perception, because with perception, there's expectations. With perception, there's standard. With the Marines, Garp is the most influential Marine we have. I'm going to say this again. Garp is the most influential Marine that we have. Why? Because he is the hero. It's not Sengoku, it's not Akainu, it's not Kizaru, it's not Aokiji. It's not even Kong. It's Garp. Garp is the one, when people think about the Marines and they think about the hero of the Marines, it's Garp. So I want you to think about heroes. Think about Superman. Think about certain presidents, right? Think about Barack Obama. When you think of Barack Obama, you think black president. If we have another black president, he's probably going to be fine. But when we think black president, the first thing we're thinking of is Barack Obama. So when you think hero of the Marines, there could be many heroes. Kobe was a hero at Rocky Port. But when you think hero of the Marines, the first thing you're thinking of is Garp. So I want you to understand that position that he's in, because that's very, very important. There's many heroic things he's done. He was considered Roger's equal. Roger the Pirate King. The two Marines that Roger respected, Sengoku and Garp. But Garp was the hero. So Garp over Sengoku in terms of perception and status. Now, Sengoku went on to be the fleet admiral, but that decision also comes in hand as I explain what happened when it comes to the Ace conundrum. But I want you to understand this specific point, because that's what's going to carry the rest of this entire argument of why Garp chose to let Ace die. Now, I want you to understand this as well. The reason Garp did not want to be a slave to the Celestial Dragons and become an admiral is very simple. It's his ideals and his principles, but that does not diminish his hero tag. Because think about the Marines. Think about, say, a vice admiral, a rear commander. These guys see what scum the Celestial Dragons are. I hope you guys understand that. I'm pretty sure the Marines know the Celestial Dragons are scum. I feel like everyone should know by now the Celestial Dragons are scum. They just can't tell them what to do. That's the beauty of being an alleged god. You can't really tell them what to do. That's just the system. Garp saying, I'm not going to work for them. The Celestial Dragons? No. I don't want them telling me what to do. Why would I do that? That garners the respect of his peers already. If I'm working under Garp, if I'm a Marine and I see him, he can be an admiral. He can have all this power, all the clout. And Garp says, nah, I'm all right, bro. I'm good. I'm fine being a vice admiral. When everybody knows he's more than qualified to be an admiral. Matter of fact, he could have been fleet admiral. I almost guarantee it. If it wasn't for his combative nature against the Celestial Dragons, he could have been a fleet admiral, but he chose not to. So again, when it comes to his perception as a hero of the Marines, that's as pure as it gets. You have the credit of locking up the Pirate King. You have the credit of beating Zebek. You have the credit of basically standing up to the Celestial Dragons, even though you know you shouldn't, but still being within that fine line where, okay, you may have said no to the Celestial Dragons, but we still need you in this position because you are the hero. There's a reason why Garp is still in the position he's in. They need him for the sake of the perception of the Marines. He is the shining light of the Marines because he did all the biggest things that every Marine needed to do. Stop the Pirate King, stop Zebek. It doesn't get bigger than that. It doesn't get bigger. So then we go to the Ace decision now. And this is where things get messy because everyone loves Ace. Everybody loves Ace. And it's that Dadan speech that really tugs on the... I was just watching it before I started recording this video. And I was crying. It's hard. It's a very hard video to watch. And that's the thing. That's the beauty of Garp, because now we're getting into his complexity. So we built up morality in One Piece. We've built up Garp's position as a hero. So now we can understand the context of Garp in that moment. So let's start off with when Garp is on that scaffold. If you remember in the ASL flashback, we know exactly what Garp specifically tried to train Luffy, Sabo, and Ace to do. You guys are going to grow up and be great Marines. Now, why would he say that? It's obvious why he would say that. because he knows what that's going to entail. He knows he's going to have to face them as the hero of the Marines and not as Garp the father, Garp the grandfather. He can't do that. Otherwise, Garp wouldn't have stayed in his role. You see, Garp is just like Luffy. He's very, very stiff on his ideals and his philosophy. Garp is not going to change his ideals and philosophy. He's like Fisher Tiger. He's like Roger. He's like Ace. And he's like Luffy. They're all the same. They all have the same behavior. They don't compromise their ideals and their philosophy. That's what we love them for. That's why when Ace turned around to face Akainu after he insulted Whitebeard, I got a whole video on it. I'll explain it to you, but I'll make it very simple. Ace would never, ever let somebody talk about someone that gave meaning to his life. And if you know Ace, he dealt with a lack of meaning in his life for the longest time. So someone like Whitebeard who gave meaning to his life, yeah, there's no way he's letting that happen. But the beauty of that context is in the moment where he sat by Ace, and even Sengoku was like, I'm gonna let you have this. I'm gonna let you have this because you're still loyal to your ideals and your principles enough to respect the Marine authority, but you're still a father. You're still a grandfather at the time. So he sat by Ace and he broke down. And Garp's not the emotional type. He broke down crying and he said, damn it, Ace! Why couldn't you be a Marine like I told you to? So I wouldn't have to do this. He's fighting against his ideals, but he can't do it. It's like Fisher Tiger and the Blood. He just couldn't do it. No matter what, it would go against everything that he's built up. And one would say, okay, you can't pick family over your job. But that's the beauty of Garp. Garp's character is about a sense of duty and strict ideals. As a Marine hero, if he decided to choose Ace over everything that he'd built up, he is virtually destroying the Marines. He's the hero of the Marines. So if he makes that decision to just say, you know what, no more, I'm not an admiral anymore, I'm done, I'm just gonna save Ace and I'm gonna try and get away. Do you know what kind of turmoil that's gonna cause in the world? Garp has to weigh these things. Garp always weighs his actions. That's the difference between him and Luffy, Dragon, and all these other headstrong pirates. He's not a pirate. He doesn't have that freedom of choice. When you're in a structure like the Marines and you have the perception and the clout that Garp has, it's not as simple as, oh, well, it's my family, so you know what? Everything I built, screw it. That's not his character. It goes against his character. That means then you're just having Garp being a passion merchant and a family merchant. Oh, passion, family. Well, my responsibilities, it don't mean anything anymore. Why else would Garp beg them to be Marines in the first place? Why else? So we have that conundrum. And then we go to the Dadan speech. One, at the end of the day, when Akainu killed Ace, when Luffy came up to him, he couldn't fight back. That's the thing. He had to be held down by Sengoku. That was the time when he was actually gonna just like risk it all, and Sengoku was like, nah, Garp, nope. And he was like, Sengoku, you better keep me down, because if you let me go, I'm killing him. Guaranteed you. Garp would have bodied Akainu, by the way. I'm just saying. That's agenda. That's between you and me. But the Dadan speech is one that hurts the most, because even though we understand Garp's character and we understand how stubborn he is with his ideals, it's the fact that he knows what he did is something that he's gonna have to live with for the rest of his life. And that's what men need to do. That's what men do. You make a decision and you live with the consequences, whatever that entails. So if you look at that scene with Dadan is basically all of us. Dadan is a bandit, so she doesn't have to worry about, you know, the world and Marines and perception and society. She doesn't have to worry about that. So Dadan is all of us. Why? Why did you watch Ace die? He's punching Garp, crying on his face, punching Garp. Why did you let Ace die? And if you look at Garp's facial expressions as that's happening, he's ashamed. He's looking away. He's taking the punches. No hockey, nothing. He's bleeding. He's taking it because he knows this is what he's gonna have to deal with. And if you see the shame in his face, you see the pain in his face. She's talking about Ace suffering. She's talking about Luffy suffering. Garp is in severe pain. So it's not like Garp didn't care. He cared a lot. Otherwise, he wouldn't try to take the precautionary measures to save Ace and Luffy from this inevitable demise like he saw with Roger. So Garp in itself, the complexity, the fact that he has to deal with these consequences, the decision making that he makes, understanding his role in the world and sticking to it, knowing that he's gonna have to suffer at the end, to me that's more man than any other person I've seen in the One Piece to this day, because he thinks about his actions, he thinks about his decisions, but he's still straightforward and honest enough for us to respect him as a man, but then respect him for his ideals and his philosophies as well. So it's all about context here. It's all about how you view the reasoning why he chose not to save Ace at that moment in time. It's also the beauty of realistic character writing. Not everything has to be a fantasy world. Not everything has to be, oh yeah, you should just do this because it's the right thing to do. When it comes to real life decisions, there's context that you have to account for. Every decision that you make in life has a consequence. Garp understands that, and it's difficult to make decisions off the bat on the fly. You have to think about the consequences of your actions. As an adult, that's what you do. And for Garp, for someone that we perceive as someone to be very, he's kind of like a meathead in a way, but Garp is a complex meathead. And it's rare you get that. You either get the meathead or you get the complexity, but with Garp, he's just a mix of the both. And Oda has just put everything together, and the situation that Garp is in, the role that he's in, the fact that society is so gray, and Garp has to navigate this gray morality and still make the right decision, because I believe Garp made the right decision. I actually believe he made the right decision, but he sacrificed something that he can never get back, and he has to live with those consequences, and he does till this day. And that's why the Dadan moment hit so hard, is because Garp expected it. That's why he came. That's why he let Dadan hit him. That's why Makino was crying and running away. He knows this is the path I've chosen. If I am the hero of the Marines, if I've dedicated my entire life to justice over freedom, I better follow through with it. And he followed through with it. And to me, that is one of the most beautiful characters that Oda could have ever created before my eyes, because it's so tough to be Garp. It's so tough to be in his position, because he's the one, he thinks about everything. He's always observing. He has a very keen eye. Look how he treated Stelly. He's like, bro, get away from me, bro. I don't like you. You just like a celestial dragon. But he'll still do his job. He'll still escort him. But he understands his position. He understands his role. And that's why he has the respect of all his peers. Garp is the best character in One Piece. And I dare you to find someone better. Maybe Ace, but we'll save that for another video. Thank you. Yo everybody, thanks for watching. Make sure to subscribe here to get the latest from the channel, or also check out some other videos that might suit your specific tastes.